Sawadee krap and welcome to Buddhist Evolution from Wat Sangku in northern Thailand, Chiang Mai in fact. Okay, today I'm going to be talking about another word, two words in the Bali language. The first word is Rupa. Rupa means the physical world. The Rupa Dhamma is the physical world. We talked about Dhamma already, which is Dhamma is the master word. It means the teaching, it means the search for truth, and it means the dimension of truth. The dimension that we all live in, it means reality. And the first type of Dhamma is called the Rupa, which is the physical world. So we all know the physical world well, and we know the rules that govern it to some degree because we know these from the process of science. Now, it's interesting that Buddha lived 2,500 years ago, but long before science as we know was invented, but his idea of the world was actually pretty similar. He believed that the world was made of particles, and each particle had an edge around it to define it and a space between it and the next one. And this was how matter could change and reform itself in time. So that's basically not different to the idea of atoms and molecules and particles that we have today. So that, as I said before, Dharma is the search for truth. So the truth of physics and the truth of Dharma are the same. That which can be proved to be true can be said to be Buddhist teaching. So we can use the physical laws to define the physical universe, which is simple. Now, in terms of the human body, the easiest way to define the Rupa, the physicality of the human body, is the human body under deep anesthetic. You know, when you sleep, there's still awareness there. Something happens, somebody sticks a pin in you wake up pretty quick. But under anesthetic, you know, you're very close to dead. Once somebody's dead, of course, it starts to change. The human body is not really the human body. Instant it's dead, it's a piece of meat. So that's the starting point, is to imagine yourself as having absolutely zero sensation. People can cut your heart out and stick another one in, and you don't feel a thing. So that's the Rupa Dharma of the physical body. But the word I really want to talk about today is Seta. Now, Seta is the dimension of perception. That's the thing about perception in Buddhist terms, is it's not just a matter of cognition in the sense of in the brain, that you know, memories that are in the brain. That's covered by the word Seta, but the word Seta is larger than that, because in Buddhism, Seta is a thing that we all share, and we share it with all the other animals, all the other creatures, right up from a bacteria which has no brain at all. Worms and things like that don't really have brains, but they have cognitive processes. They know what they want, and they know how to get it. They can recognize objects, they can recognize things that they need and they want. So even the simplest organisms have it right up to ourselves, and we share it. It's a shared dimension. And this is very important because the Seta, we don't really want to see our perceptions as being too personal to ourselves. I'm not saying that we don't have personalities, we do, but our actual perceptions are shared with other people. Perceptions of reality, because Seta is a type of reality, it's a way of perceiving reality, and it is a reality within itself, are shared between all people over the world. There are some anomalies, but they're the exceptions. I mean, well, here in the East, a woman who's got a dark skin is never seen as beautiful. Doesn't matter how beautiful everything else is perfect about her, she's got a dark skin, she's not beautiful. That's an anomaly. In the West, we don't see it that way. But as I say, these are the exceptions. Virtually the whole world round, what we see is beautiful, we see is beautiful. What we see is ugly, as we see is ugly. The practicalities of the way we see things are identical, and that's because the perception is identical, and that's because the perception is shared. It's a sharing experience, and this is important because otherwise, if you see your perceptions as being too personal, that puts a wall between yourself and other people. And it's the wall between yourself and other people that is the start of conflict, and it's the start of selfishness, because You know, it's an illusion. Really, all things are shared. All possessions should be shared. In a perfect world, we would share everything. What each person needs, like they say in the principles of communism. I know communism never lived up to its ideals, but the idea that if somebody needs something, they should have it. And they have it while they need it, and when they're finished with it, they can give it to somebody else. If we all understood the Buddhist truth that the Seta is a shared experience, it would be much easier for us to be like that. I mean, there are other complications. There's the level of emotionality, which I'm not going to talk about now. I'm going to talk about that next time. But if we can see that our perceptions are the same, and if we can see them as shared, it's easier for us to share things out in a proper way. Because that's the big problem in life. We don't share things. We don't think rationally. You need to think rationally and share. And so that's the first message of Buddhism, and Buddhism in terms of perception. Learn to see your perceptions as try to see things through other people's eyes. Try to see the way other people see things, because other people see things slightly differently. The difference is slight, and a difference in perspective too. You know, it's like the prisoner sees the jail differently from the guard does. But really, it's all the same jail. That's what I'm saying. In a business, the boss sees the business differently from the perspective of the cleaner. But really, it's all one business. And if people could see that, many of the problems in the world would disappear. So this is the understanding. This is the Seta Dhamma, the universal perception and the ability to perceive everything in the same way. So I'm going to leave you with that beautiful thought now, and I'm going to say, Sawadee Krap.